It's time for the Texas Perspective on current news and events. A man who calls it like he sees it, without the normal political correctness you may have grown comfortable with. This show is not for the faint of heart or easily offended. Chances are you will learn something and along the way get to hear some great music from bands you may have missed. The doctor is in, and he will see you now.
Well, I guess we better get on with it.
Well, good morning, Beaumont. It's Saturday, and of course, on the Saturday show, we go for a full hour today, and I've got lots of goodies and great information for you, things you probably will not find anyplace else except for Freedom 1300 right here in Beaumont. So let's get started. In the good news segment, this from the Western Journal, Stephen Colbert is done on CBS. Now, what we like about CBS is it's the only accurately named network that's out there, because if you watch CBS, well, you will CBS. Anyway, they announced that the Late Show with Stephen Colbert is being canceled effective May 2026. Now, that's too long. Anyway, that's going to end the normal broadcast season. CBS said, we consider Stephen Colbert irreplaceable, and so we're going to retire the Late Show franchise at that time. We're very proud that Stephen Colbert called CBS home. He said the broadcast will be remembered in the pantheon of the greats that graced late-night television. Somehow I just don't quite believe that garbage. But Colbert announced that the news while taping his Thursday night program said, I'm not being replaced, it's just all going away. CBS said this is purely a financial decision against the challenging backdrop in late night. It's not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount, the network leader said. It's just the truth is nobody's watching this crap. Deadline speculated that Colbert might move over to CBS's sister network, Comedy Central, which is also owned by Paramount. Meanwhile, the Daily Show host Jon Stewart has signed a contract that takes him through the end of 2025. Many speculated perhaps Colbert might take up the reins if Stewart decides to leave. There was a survey, by the way, attached to this, said, do you find Stephen Colbert funny? And the percentages were 96% said no. The move is surprising because the late night show is typically the highest rated show in late night, according to the Communist News Network, which, by the way, also nobody watches except for guys like me, just to tell you how it's going because nobody's watching it. Anyway, the network noted the move comes not long after Paramount settled with Donald Trump, giving him $16 million chump change, which is going to go to building his library, because he was sued over 16 minutes taking the Kamala Harris interview and then doctoring it to where it wasn't even an interview anymore. It was a complete lie. So this comes as Paramount is in the middle of a merger with Skydance Media. Colbert, of course, is one of Donald Trump's fiercest critics, and he called the payout to the president a big fat bribe. This could possibly have some effect on him being canceled. The host took over the Late Show from David Letterman, who was actually kind of funny. David Letterman was the most insincere man at TV, but I kind of enjoyed it. Colbert's cancellation comes after CBS also shut down James Corden's Late Late Show, which was even perhaps less funny than Stephen Colbert. Anyway, Charlie Kirk responded to the news with a posting on social media saying that Stephen Colbert was so unfunny, he killed the Late Show. Well, my friends, things are changing. The times are changing. And I think that this is an excellent move. On the other hand, I don't know about you. I've not personally had DirecTV or cable TV or any sort of network service now for almost 5 years. I use the internet. I stream everything that I want to watch, and I actually pay for YouTube because I don't like commercials. But that's the way the things are going. And by the way, if you need my help to cut the cord, give me a call. 281-914-1331. I do work in Beaumont, and my company, AV Expert, has been designing home theater systems and home entertainment systems for years, and I can certainly help you. 281-914-1331. avexpert.us, avexpert.us. Now this. Meanwhile, just in case some of you thought that President Trump wasn't listening to you at all, on Thursday, he went to Truth Social and called on Attorney General Pam Bondi, the cutest attorney general in history, to release any relevant Epstein grand jury testimony pending court approval. Based upon the ridiculous amount of publicity that's been given to Jeffrey Epstein, I've asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam perpetuated by the Democrats should end right now, Trump wrote on his post. Well, I don't know if it's ridiculous or not. The truth is, most of us want to know. Remember that there used to be a newspaper called the National Enquirer, and their commercial was Inquiring Minds Want to Know. Well, I think all of us want to know. We do know that the BS that's currently being put out on the Epstein files is not going to be acceptable. There's a Wall Street Journal article published in an alleged letter from President Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. The story claimed that Trump had drawn a picture of a woman's breast and signed it with a birthday message to the late disgraced mogul. According to the report, the letter included the message, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." Well, soon after the article was published, Trump announced that the letter was fake and that he will be suing the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Murdoch. The Wall Street Journal printed a fake letter, supposedly to Epstein. These are not my words. Not the way I talk. Also, I don't draw pictures. I told Rupert Murdoch it was a scam and he shouldn't print this fake story, but he did anyway, and now I'm going to sue his donkey. And that is the third-rate newspaper that he runs. Thank you for attention to this matter. Well, I'll let you know how this goes, but nonetheless, we want to know. We want to know the truth, and the truth is there's a lot of nefariousness going on, and I think the reason why we have seen him trying to downplay this is because after Donald Trump seen what all was involved, he realized, my God, this could take down the entire republic if people had all of this truth. Donald Trump is not in any of the Epstein files. We know that he did fly on the Lolita Express one time because it was going where he wanted to go, but that's the only time, unlike Bill Clinton, who had more than 17 trips, and Hillary Clinton had a few herself. So we don't know why she was going to the island, but I have heard there was video and that one of the cops that viewed the video had to enter psychological counseling after he saw that video. So I think we need to know what's in the Epstein files. I think it needs to be released. I just see it as a huge abscess on the republic that is America, and I think that abscess needs to be lanced, and no matter who is on that list, no matter what they find, it needs to be exposed to the American public. But that's just me. Now this. Freedom1300.com doesn't run on sunshine and well water, my friends. We need you. First of all, please share this show and this station on all of your social media. The Golden Triangle is on the cusp of the best decade in history, and we need you to be part of it. We need you to advertise right here on Freedom 1300 AM in Beaumont. If you are the best at what you do and your client base is in the Golden Triangle or southwestern Louisiana, this is the place for you to be advertising. It's inexpensive and affordable. Call me, Doc, today at 281-914-1331 and join the team at AM 1300. We still need a major sponsor with studio naming rights. We need a sponsor for the 1 hour show every Saturday. You can call Doc at 281-914-1331 and get in on the ground floor with AM 1300. Be sure to tell your friends at church, Rotary, at BMI, the Lions, the Eagles, the American Legion, and the VFW. AM 1300 is the place to be. Meanwhile, the biggest suppressed truth out there is that people who took the CVD vaccine, they're dying. They're not dying of CVID. They're dying of cancer. They're dying of heart attacks. They're dying of blood clots. And this is not being talked about anywhere. So I think it's important that the Florida Surgeon General, Dr. Joseph Ladapo, has delivered remarks addressing the revised federal guidelines concerning this. I don't know if you're aware, but there have been a number of pilots, even this year, flying major airlines that have been incapacitated and some have died behind the yoke. You're not being told this, but virtually everyone who has taken the CVID medication is dying. And most of them are going to die within the next 2 to 3 years. But like I say, they're not going to die of CVID. They're going to die of cancer. They're going to die of heart attacks. So this is really a big deal. He said they should not take this product. They are unsuitable for human beings. These products should never be injected into a human being. When was the last time you had a vaccine that literally every single person knows someone had a bad reaction from it? He said, I'm a physician since 2011, taking care of thousands of patients, and I've seen until this pandemic that I could not tell someone I knew who had actually been injured from a vaccine. But now there are so few people that don't know somebody who has had a bad reaction. And once again, a lot of this news is available publicly, but it is being shut down. It is being suppressed. In fact, if I put this on YouTube, they may very well cancel my channel. So I'm trying to talk in code, so to speak. But anyway, this doctor said, I call on the federal government and the National Institute of Health to expand the work they've been doing in what they call long CVID and wholly include anyone who might be injured from having taken an injectable medication, specifically people who are taking the MerNa 19 vaccines. We need to study this. We need physicians who care to look into this carefully. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the greatest hoax that's ever been foisted upon the American public. But I can assure you that Dr. Fauci had one intent when he created this in the Chinese lab, and that is to depopulate the earth. And here's the other problem. We're now finding babies that are being born to injected women, and these babies have spike proteins, and these spike proteins are multiplying. We don't know where this is going to end. We just know it's very serious, and it's not a good thing. May the Lord Yeshua, mighty God in Christ, have mercy on us all. You have a choice, and you chose Freedom 1300.